And you've got some status updates for us on whether these talks are actually...
So, look, the Wall Street Journal reported this morning that the two companies are in talks, which is something that we have known for a while. In fact, they've been in talks for years. And they sort of threw in a caveat by saying, well, no price or structure has been agreed on yet. But that's everything. The price and the structure is everything in this deal. Can these two companies come to an agreement where T-Mobile is willing to take some proportion of Dish stock and cash, and can Dish raise enough money, and what's the premium going to be? Because T-Mobile shares now are really at an all-time high almost at this point. They went up even more today. So is Dish, which is notoriously a cheap company, apologies to Charlie Ergen if he's watching this, he would say, you know, frugal or smart with what they spend. Are they willing to pay enough money to get this deal done? And is Deutsche Telekom willing to take Dish stock, which my sources indicate there's a big disagreement on the valuation of Dish stock. Charlie Ergen feels like Dish stock is severely undervalued because the market has not taken into consideration the value of Dish's wireless spectrum. They own a lot of it. And Deutsche Telekom may feel that Dish's stock is overvalued. So that's where over the coming months, and really that's always been the holdup, even if you go back all the way to last year when these two companies were talking about a deal. Can a deal get done surrounding all of those question marks?
So hang on. T-Mobile CEO John Legere, very outspoken on Twitter. He actually deleted a couple of tweets about this last night, referencing stories but not confirming or denying any of the reports. But he specifically singled out a Recode article where he called it a sad story, and we're not sure if he was referring to the analysis or the reporting, but this story referred to T-Mobile and Dish as sort of the last two people at a bar, so why don't they just hook up? That said, we have been asking him this question about Dish over the last several months, and on Bloomberg Television, this is what he recently had to say about a couple of months ago.
I just know that they're an adjacent industry. They're playing in services that could be complementary to what we're doing. And if customers are better served, I think markets will find a way.
Tuna, what's your sense here? Is this going to happen? Should it happen? Tuna?
Well, so we think that there's never been more urgency for that deal to happen for a variety of reasons. So number one, obviously, you've got, the immense consolidation in the landscape. And number two, I think that, Wall Street is really getting, I don't know if impatient is the word, but they need some more clarity on the potential uses of Dish's wireless spectrum. I do share the view with Alex that the potential sticking point is going to be evaluation of the shares. If you look at Dish right now, they have a significant amount of embedded premium resulting from the spectrum that they've amassed over the last several years. So we sense that that's going to be a major hurdle to resolve with T-Mobile. Having said that, I think it's not inconceivable that they're going to pull off this deal because everything put together, the capital markets is still favorable. Wall Street, I would argue, is itching for some deal to come together just to be able to realize a lot of this upside.
Keith, what are your thoughts?
So I'm certainly not an expert in this market, in this space. I'm a DirecTV customer. But
AT&T's buying DirecTV.
But what is obvious is that I believe we're going to see a lot of these kind of macro mergers and attempted mergers occur in the future. Wall Street, clearly the market is valuing growth, and organic growth is very difficult to come by. It's very difficult to innovate and create growth. So I think insofar as the regulators allow these kind of transactions, we're going to see these announced, every week, every month.
Are regulators on board with this?
Probably. This seems like a much easier deal to go through than, say, Sprint T-Mo, which obviously was tried last year. And I think that actually leads to a good point here, which is if Deutsche Telekom is set on selling T-Mo, and of course they first tried to sell to AT&T in 2011, that deal was blocked. Then they went through the process of doing a dance with SoftBank and potentially selling to Sprint last year. Sprint got very heavy pushback from the FCC and the DOJ that deal would be blocked. There aren't that many dance partners left for T-Mobile at this point. Comcast theoretically could bid, but would Comcast really want to go through the regulatory process again on a major transaction like that? Probably not now. Sprint might want to try again, but they'd have to wait until a new administration. So if Deutsche Telekom wants to do a deal now, Dish is number one. They're the most obvious buyer.
So what does this mean for consumers? Keith is a DirecTV customer. I've got Comcast at home. What does this mean for us?
Well, it probably is an advancement of Dish's long-term strategy here, which is mobile video. So they already have this new OTT product, Sling TV, which allows you to basically get your package of pay TV channels over your device. So what they can do is they can bundle this now mobile service with this OTT package and offer you sort of what's called a quad play, more or less, where although they're not offering you landline broadband, they do offer satellite broadband, and you can have mobile video, and you can get wireless service, you can get TV, and they would really be the first of its kind to offer that.
Tuna, quickly, 30 seconds. Does this deal make strategic sense? What does it mean for the Apples and Netflixes of the world?
Sure. Rarely do you see a deal where the strategic motivation is almost evenly balanced between, Dish and T-Mobile. So I think this deal should, all signs are pointing towards the breakup of the bundle. If you think about what Sling TV is doing, I think coming together with T-Mobile will allow Dish to scale that. I think all signs are pointing to wireless and mobile as the future of consumption, for consumers, and that's really the way that the industry has been gravitating to.